The Tea Biz podcast delivers tea news that you need to know. A recap of the week's major headlines with commentary and cultural trends hosted by Dan Bolton. It is the voice of origin for tea professionals and enthusiasts worldwide.
Tea is a fascinating and intricate topic, far more complex than anyone can master. Our expertise resides in storytelling by professionals who know the tea lands from birth and speak the native tongue. We believe that transparency is grounded at origin, which is why the Tea Biz portal enlists 40 voices skilled in 12 languages to tell the story of tea. Hello, everyone. Here are this week's headlines. Kenya is considering a 4,900% tax increase on 150,000 acres of tea lands. Counties also plan to hike fees to discourage automated plucking. Major tea-producing countries, China, India, and Kenya, all report declining exports. The green tea market is accelerating. Plus, TeaBookClub founder Kyle Whittington describes Easy Leaf Tea by Postcard Teas founder Timothy Diofay. Quote, "It's a recipe book with a difference. This sumptuously illustrated book focuses on recipes for brewing tea and tea-centric kitchen creations. This isn't a book about cakes with a dash of tea thrown in. This is tea, and more tea, but with a twist. Tea is, as it rightly should be, the star of the show. Indeed, the book has the feel of his London shop. Incredible teas, thoughtful brewing, and a big splash of heart." End quote. Listen to the review in episode 133. More in a minute, but first this important message. Intake.
What makes a perfect cup of Ceylon tea? The perfect cup is from the tea businesses that ensure the protection of all the children living within their tea estates. We salute Kailani Valley, Telawakili, Bogawanthalawa, Harana, and Elliptia tea estates. Support Save the Children, Sri Lanka.
Kenya's Nandi County Assembly is considering a tea lands tax increase from 100 to 5,000 shillings per acre. The proposed legislation also substantially increases fees to discourage using automated plucking machines. Governor Stephen Sang said the 13 million shillings in annual taxes paid mainly by multinational tea growers is too low. He was joined by the governors of Kericho and Bomet counties, who are also eyeing a hike in taxes that would generate billions of shillings in annual revenue, according to the National. Similar efforts have failed in the past. In April 2018, Nandi County announced a new levy to limit the use of tea plucking machines. The Kenya Tea Growers Association challenged the levy, and the Land Court ruled in 2021 that imposing levies on machine-plucked tea was arbitrary, discriminatory, and unconstitutional. Kenya's 4 major tea-producing counties have greater leverage in 2023. Leases on 150,000 acres of tea lands are up for renewal, and Kenya's National Land Commission has reaffirmed that county governments will get the final say on approvals. According to the National, quote, "Regional authorities are digging in to have the last word in their three-pronged battle with firms," end quote. Labor unions representing tea workers say the automated harvesters replace manual laborers, leading to mass layoffs with hundreds of thousands of workers losing their jobs. Kenya Plantation and Agricultural Workers Union Chairman Eliakim Oshang said that more than 120,000 workers have lost their jobs since tea plucking machines were first introduced. The firms say mechanization reduces production costs and enables them to remain afloat in a competitive global tea market. Modern harvesters, operated by one person, do the work of 20 tea pickers at a far lower cost of 4 shillings per kilo. Hand pluckers earns 15.50 shillings per kilo for plucking green leaf. Business Insight. Kenya is struggling to pay down foreign debt and must raise taxes to qualify for an International Monetary Fund's bailout. The new administration doubled the value-added tax on fuel to 16% this spring and increased taxes from 1% to 3% for small businesses. Personal income taxes were increased to 32.5% for those earning at least $3,500 US annually. A new 1.5% housing tax was enacted, and medical taxes were increased to 2.5%. The government owes lenders almost 10 trillion shillings, about $67 billion US dollars. India, China, and Kenya all report lower tea exports due to weakening global demand, caused by a combination of inflation and rising debt amid regional conflicts. India is faring best, reporting a mid-year decline of less than 1% to 96.5 million kilos, compared to 97.3 million kilos shipped from January through June 2022. Exports last year grew by 17.5% to 231 million kilos over 2021. Indian Tea Association Secretary General A. Raha told the Business Standard that it is unlikely that exports during 2023 will surpass the 2022 total. In Kenya, tea exports are down by 50 million kilos through June, according to the Tea Board. Sales declined 29% on a volume of 191 million kilos, down 21.4% compared to the 243 million kilos exported during the same period last year. China's customs data shows that the tea exports to all destinations through June amounted to 175,000 metric tons, a 3% decline in volume compared to last year. According to the China Tea Marketing Association, the value of China's tea export earnings for the period fell to $847 million, a year-on-year decrease of 14%. July was an exceptional month for tea production in India, rising 6.2% to 165 million kilos, about 10 million kilos greater than July 2022. Northern India showed the gains, while South India producers reported a million-kilo decline to 37 million kilos. North India exported 59 million kilos during the first half of the year. The conflict in Ukraine and the rapid fall in the value of the Russian ruble disrupted sales of full and broken leaf orthodox and less expensive CTC, cut, tear, curl grades. Iran, one of the top 5 tea importers globally, is tardy with payments, and warfare in Sudan, Yemen, and Ethiopia have depressed trade. Business Insight. India exports tea in 60-kilo sacks for packaging, processing, and blending in Dubai and Germany before it is sold to European markets. In the future, the state of West Bengal wants to add value before the tea is exported. West Bengal is currently negotiating with the Kolkata port for a 10 to 12-acre parcel to build warehouses, truck docks, and infrastructure to house private businesses that would produce 20-gram packets and tea bags in boxes shipped directly in containers to wholesale customers worldwide. Market researchers forecast accelerating growth rates for green tea compared to black. The Euromonitor projects, quote, stable mid-single-digit volume growth, with green tea and herbal traditional medicinal teas the fastest-growing categories, end quote. Emergent Research valued the worldwide market for green tea at $15 billion in 2021, following a boost in consumer interest in their personal health. The market is forecast to grow by 8.1% compounded annually through 2030 to reach $30 billion in sales. The global black tea market was estimated at $25 billion in 2022 and is expected to grow to $35 billion by 2028, growing at a compound annual rate of 5.5%. According to Research and Markets, the global tea market for all tea is projected to reach $70.5 billion by 2028, with an average compound annual growth rate for all categories of 6.2% between the years 2022 and 2028. Several factors collectively contribute to escalating revenue in the green tea category, according to emergent analysts. Number one is the health advantage of green tea and the swift advancements in tea packaging techniques. Quote, packaging innovations have not only extended the shelf life of green tea, but have also facilitated an increase in its export volume. Consequently, the emergence of new brands offering green tea products has seen a noticeable surge, according to Emergent. Examples include Tulsi Green and Tetley Green Tea with vitamin C, introduced by Tata Consumer Products. Green tea is an effective adjunct for weight loss, chiefly due to its capacity to expedite fat oxidation, a characteristic that underpins its popularity in weight management, writes Emergent. Researchers studying the impact of green tea and its functional components on body weight and gut microbiota found that mice fed a high-fat diet gained significant weight over 8 weeks. In contrast, those consuming the same diet along with green tea experienced a reduction in body fat and a loss of weight. The study, published in the peer-reviewed journal Foods, used 3 different concentrations of green tea, 1%, 2%, and 4%. Mice fed higher concentrations of tea had less inflammation of the liver, greater concentrations of healthful bacteria, and fewer harmful bacteria in their gut biome. Emergent cited a multitude of other health benefits, including stable blood sugar levels that are attributed to L-theanine, an amino acid prevalent in green tea that effectively moderates caffeine absorption, curbing LDL cholesterol levels, and enhancing blood circulation in vessels due to the anti-inflammatory attributes of green tea, and a reduced vulnerability to specific cancers, including prostate. Arvinda Anantharaman in Bengaluru reports on tea auction prices for sale 35.
India Tea Price Report for Sale 35, the week ending 2nd September 2023. Overall, the auction saw 18,712 tons of tea on offer for sale 35, with a sales volume of 69%, with BP grades being the top seller, followed by BOP, SM, and then Dust and Fannings. In North India, Kolkata saw good demand with major blenders active for CTC and Dust, while Middle East and CIS countries were active for Orthodox. Tata Consumer Products was active for Darjeeling, which raised prices marginally. And there were fewer outlots of Orthodox, and a little over half of Darjeeling remained unsold. 30% of Orthodox sold for under 200 rupees a kilo, while 46% of Darjeeling sold for under 300 rupees a kilo. Overall, this auction week continues to see lower prices compared with 2022 for the same sale week. In Guwahati, major blenders were active for both leaf and dust. Prices were similar to last week, while outlots were slightly higher this week. In the south, Kunur saw good demand with about 95% of dust grades, both CTC and Orthodox, sold. And in leaf grades, Orthodox did better than CTC. Cochin was closed last week because they were celebrating Festival Onam. In crop and weather, Assam is seeing spikes in temperature and seeing the highest recorded temperature for September in recent times, which is a cause of worry. Darjeeling and Duars are expected to see light rain this week, and the Nilgiris is expected to see isolated heavy rain.
And now, a word from our sponsor.
Hi, I'm Nish. I grew up in an organic tea farm and founded Nepal Tea Collective in 2016. Tea is not just a beverage for me, but a catalyst for social change, sustainably empowering hardworking artisans like my parents for the past 30 years. I'm on a mission to make the whole world aware of the goodness of Nepali teas and the good that comes from supporting growers in this remarkable land. If you haven't tasted Nepali teas yet, you're missing out. Our award-winning teas are making headlines. Find out why. Visit Nepal Tea Collective's website to get a free sample of this extraordinary taste of the Himalayas. That's nepalteacollective.com. Or just send me an email at nish, Nish, at nepalteacollective.com. Cheers.
TeaBookClub founder Kyle Whittington describes Easy Leaf Tea by Postcard Teas founder Timothy D'Offay, quote, as a tea recipe book with a difference. This sumptuously illustrated book focuses on recipes for brewing tea and tea-centric kitchen creations. This isn't a book about cakes with a dash of tea thrown in. This is tea, and more tea, but with a twist. Tea as it rightly should be, as the star of the show. Indeed, the book very much has the feel of the London shop itself. Incredible teas, thoughtful brewing, and a big splash of heart. End quote.
A sea of green foam in a big black bowl, the sound of a spoon on the side of a much-loved mug, a thimble-sized cup cradling a highly scented elixir, and the taste of clay and sweet spices from a terracotta tumbler almost too hot to hold. And that's a quote from Easy Leaf Tea by Timothy D'Offay. Hello, I'm Kyle Whittington, founder of TeaBookClub. Easy Leaf Tea is a tea recipe book with a difference. This sumptuously illustrated book focuses on recipes for brewing tea and tea-centric kitchen creations. This is not yet another cake with a dash of tea thrown in, rather this is tea, and more tea, but with a twist. Tea is, as it rightly should be, the star of the show, and we'd expect nothing less from Timothy D'Offay of Postcard Teas in London. Indeed, the book very much has the feel of the shop itself, incredible teas, thoughtful brewing, and a big splash of heart. Wherever you are on your tea journey, this book is bound to appeal and delight. For those newer to the world of tea, what a wonderful and inspiring introduction. This will furnish you with the basics and encourage exploration and development of your tea tastes and brewing skills. Yet for those of us in a later flush of our tea journey, this book does not disappoint. The basics are thoughtfully introduced with a fresh and personable take. Indeed, the whole book is written as if Tim is actually talking to you, which makes for a pleasant and engaging read. The different tea types are presented beautifully, and the flavour chart is an exciting and accessible way of presenting and illustrating a complex subject. No flavour wheels. Yay! And then we have the recipes. From innovative brewing techniques such as flow brewing and the double brew method to simple yet innovative approaches with ambient tea. Seriously, how have we not all been doing this before now? Not to mention an absolute favourite of mine, sparkling tea. If you haven't already, then this book is sure to inspire you to get experimenting. From these various techniques, Tim expands with recipes using fruit, spice, and all things nice. Try a senchade, tasty chai, or kitchen cola perhaps. And then, of course, there are the stone ground teas and associated recipes. If you've not tried stone ground teas, then get on it, because they really up the tea latte, milkshake, and ice cream game. Something else entirely. And all of this illustrated with the most sumptuous photography that's sure to get your taste buds tingling. The photography could make this a coffee table book on its own, and is sure to get the rest of the household begging you to whip up a tea concoction. The perfect choice for any tea lover and an excellent gift. TeaBookClub is an international group of tea lovers and readers who meet up virtually each month to discuss the tea books we read. My book reviews are a combination of my thoughts and those of TeaBookClub members. Here's what TeaBookClub members thought. I was so delighted at the chosen bits of information and the inventions. I was going on a journey of tea inventions. The different flavours were exciting and the photos really got me. So beautiful. I really liked it. It's very inspirational. I got a lot of new ideas I haven't tried. It inspires you. Even if you already know quite a lot about tea, you get something new from this. I love the flow brewing idea. I did it. It was really, really good. Really filled the mouth with flavours. I really liked the flavour profile chart. That was so clever.
Intrigued by what you heard in today's podcast? Would you like to learn more from our global network of tea biz journalists and tea experts? Remember to visit the Tea Biz website for more comprehensive coverage. That's www.t-biz.com. Thanks for listening. Farewell till next week.
Produced by Adavita Studios. Connect your voice to the world.